Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review. Let's talk about Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth from 1992. Totally up front, I've always hated this movie. I sat in the theater and went, really? And walked out of the theater. All I could think about was the Cenobite that killed people with CDs. Oh, I thought that was awful. Anyway, watching it now, it's actually not bad. For a Hellraiser sequel, there's some good stuff in here. It's not all good. I think Kevin Bernhardt, who plays the club owner, I think he's awful. I mean, I think he's overselling the awfulness of his character. Maybe that's what he was told to do. Anthony Hitchcock directed this. He directed some arguably B-movie classics like the first couple Waxwork movies and one of the Warlock movies. He directed a lot of those. Peter Atkins returned. He wrote the screenplay for the second one. Tony Randell, who directed the second one, also returned to write the story. Clive Barker returned as an executive producer, but really was not involved until post-production. I think one of the biggest problems, this was released by Dimension Films, which was a division back then basically run by the Weinstein Company. It was part of, anyway, it's a long story. Dimension released a lot of horror films back then, but in the beginning, you could tell that they had an influence. Well, I guarantee you they were probably the suggestion of the CD Cenobite. The story is Pinhead, after the second one, was imprisoned in a statue. And to get out of the statue, he's got to absorb the life force of unlucky humans that he can kind of get close to the statue. Terry Farrell of Star Trek fame stars in this, and she's really good in the film, actually. It's interesting to see her in this kind of thing. And this club owner owns the statue. So he does pretty, he engages in a lot of debauchery in the behind the scenes of his club, and the people that are around him usually get sucked into the statue until Pinhead could come out, and eventually Cenobites. It went on to gross $12.5 million. It's not well regarded. In 1996, they made a fourth one, which was the last one to be released theatrically. All the rest of them are straight to video. Watching it now, like I said, there's some good stuff. Doug Bradley is good in all of them. He gets to play the good half of Elliot Spencer, the captain who was in the first two movies that we saw back in World War II. In the first movie, he opened the box and kind of started his journey into this. Well, you get to see part of that character and with Kirsty again, or not Kirsty. Yeah, see, I wish they had brought Ashley Lawrence back, but Terry Farrell's character, Joey. He appears to her and helps her kind of. Now, Kirsty is in this, but it's just a cameo. She's in it very briefly. So I like it better now, but I still wouldn't recommend it. Like, in all honesty, if you want to check out Hellraiser movies, I would watch Hellraiser 1 and 2, and maybe that remake they made a couple years ago that's finally going to get a release soon that I haven't seen because I didn't have that streaming service. But Hellraiser 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think there's a 9. Yeah, the first two are the best, really. And you really need to go no further. If you do want to go further, I think 3 is better than some of the Friday the 13th movies. I think it's better than some of the Halloween movies. And it's arguably better than, Freddy 2, the Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Didn't like that one much. But anyway, Hellraiser 3, it's fine. It so far is the best looking of the 4Ks in the Arrow box set, the Quartet of Torment, and sounds pretty good because it's a more recent film and a slightly bigger budget with a movie studio behind it more than the first two films. But that being said, the studio behind it probably added the cheese layer that is involved in the film. All in all, I think it's a worthy addition to the canon, but still not a full recommendation because just a lot of it doesn't work. A lot of it's just, B-movie stuff. But again, I like it better now, so I'm kind of being hard on the film because I used to hate it and don't hate it as much anymore. I still recommend the box set, the Quartet of Torment, because you get so many extras from the third and fourth films that are illuminating on why they continued this series, and the people behind it. They probably with studio interference was trying to do what we wanted them to do, but you have to make money, and sometimes the parent company has some say in how you try and make the money. And I don't know, this third movie just doesn't feel as gritty, as DIY, as down to earth as the first two did, even with the fantastic stuff that happens in the second one. So half recommendation if you're into the Hellraiser movies and want to go past the first two. But other than that, it might be worth a watch on the Halloween if you haven't seen it in a while. How about that? Scott on ROCKFILE, more podcasts on the way. I'll get more into Hellraiser Bloodline because it's been a while since I saw that one. Oh boy, that more horror film podcasts are on the way. Please like and share and subscribe so you don't miss anything, and have a spectacular day.